Straight ahead on CCX News, safety upgrades coming soon to local schools. We'll show you what's planned in the Osseo and Robbinsdale school districts. Plus,
you never know what an invasive species is going to do to a water body till it's in there.
A new tool to fight invasive species is coming to lakes in Maple Grove and Plymouth. And later, this has nothing to do with the Vikings, but some city buildings are purple at night. We'll tell you why. CCX News starts right now.
Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Shannon Slatton. School safety remains a key priority among local schools. Now there's news this week that local schools will get a funding boost for security improvements. Sonia Goins joins us now with more. Sonia?
Hey Shannon, the Minnesota Department of Education recently announced $25 million in safety grants. More than 120 schools will split the money. 2 school districts in our area are receiving grants. Osseo schools will get over $500,000, while Robbinsdale schools will receive $182,000. Robbinsdale will use their money to make Sandburg Middle School safer.
Our families trust us every single day to take care of their kids, and that's what we're here to do. And so I was excited and happy that we were going to be able to make some improvements to Sandburg so that we can keep kids safe.
Now, there are more than 570 students at the school, and administrators say it's a top goal to keep them safe. Officials at Sandburg say the money will be used to improve entryways so they can see who is coming and going. The plan is also to add card readers, door alarms, and more security cameras. The district is also installing digital radio systems to help better communicate with Golden Valley Police.
A number of channels so that if we want to talk directly with the police department or they want to talk directly with us, there's a channel set aside for that. And that communication is extremely important, especially in any kind of emergency, because they're the people that are coming in to help us take care of our kids.
The money will also be used for violence prevention improvements. School officials submitted grant applications for every school in the district. Sandburg was randomly chosen. The money will be implemented fall of 2019. Shannon?
All right, thank you, Sonia. A Brooklyn Park man is pleaded not guilty to felony firearms charges. Phuc Nguyen of Brooklyn Park is accused of possessing multiple firearms and thousands of rounds of ammunition. He was charged with 13 felony counts. According to the criminal complaint, authorities seized the weapons and ammo from his home and storage unit. Nguyen has prior felony convictions, which prohibits him from possessing a firearm. Now to an issue that's on the rise in the suburbs and an issue local cities are trying to combat. Earlier this year, Brooklyn Center passed a median safety ordinance to try to crack down on panhandlers. This week, Brooklyn Park discussed how their city has been discouraging panhandling in the area. While it is legal to stand on the median or sidewalk, a person cannot stand on a roadway for business. So officers can cite people who step in the road to ask for money. Starting in August, Brooklyn Park officers gave panhandlers warnings as well as information on where to go to get help. Police did wind up citing 2 people. Boaters in Plymouth and Maple Grove will soon have a new weapon to fight aquatic invasive species. Reporter Meredith Hackler explains what's coming to Parker's Lake and Weaver Lake.
Life on the lake is something most of us love, but when it comes time to bring the boat in, we often don't think about the invasive species we might be bringing back with us.
You never know what an invasive species is going to do to a water body till it's in there. And our goal is just to prevent the spread, or at least slow it down long enough for science to catch up for management of the species.
With invasive species becoming more of a problem, the Hennepin County Environment and Energy Department started installing boat cleaning stations near boat access points.
It's to empower people, to give them the tools to do what's right. And in this case, when it comes to aquatic invasive species, you're just trying to not transfer water and not transfer plants.
Officials say boaters are catching on. At Lake Minnetonka alone, the stations have been used more than 5,000 times.
It's just been wonderful to see the behavior changes from just even 10 years ago.
Now, Parker's Lake in Plymouth and Weaver Lake in Maple Grove will be getting boat cleaning stations so they too can do their part to help stop the spread of invasive species.
The system that I'm setting up is we'll help purchase, we'll help install. The city or whoever owns the access will own the unit, and then we're going to have the Lake Association members help just keep eyes on it, make sure it's working correctly, make sure there's no vandalism, and just so that it's always productive.
Which environmentalists like Tony say is key to keeping lakes healthy across the state.
And I think as we get into more generations All these steps are going to be just second nature for people if we stay on top of this and we create these.
Meredith Hackler, CCX News.
The boat cleaning station at Parker's Lake is set to be installed next week, while the station in Weaver Lake will be installed in 2 weeks. If you could change something in your city, what would that be? We're just over a month away from the general election, and it's a question we're taking a closer look at with the local vote. This week, candidates for Plymouth City Council and Mayor discussed possible changes they'd make to Plymouth's city services.
Safety is the #1 issue for me, as I've heard other people say the same thing. And one of the things that I've noticed when I'm canvassing the neighborhoods is that there's a lack of street lights in several areas.
Candidate Marky Williamson says she'd assess and improve streetlights in the city. The League of Women Voters and the Northwest Islamic Community Center hosted Monday night's forum. Candidate and incumbent Ned Carroll said he'd look at helping facilitate organics recycling that could be mandated by the state and county.
I think is important, and we need to, if and when it comes, we need to structure it in a way that's going to be consistent with what people want.
Community solar. Is that something that Plymouth can do together? Community solar can bring down the cost of providing electricity to businesses that might want to locate here. It can bring down the cost of electricity that you pay right now to XL Energy.
The 3 candidates for Plymouth Mayor were also involved in the forum on Monday night, and you can hear how they answered that question by watching the forum on demand on our website. Still ahead on CCX News, a standout student who is already getting ready for Christmas. We'll explain coming up. Plus, it's a close battle as Champlin Park takes on district rival Blaine in a good girls soccer matchup. But first, cool and windy weather in your forecast, but we should see some of the sun on Thursday. You may have noticed purple lights outside local city halls and police stations. The purple color is meant to raise awareness about domestic violence. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. In Maple Grove, the city's police department developed a domestic violence response team to better handle domestic violence calls. Just because you don't go to a high school with 3,000 students doesn't mean you don't have opportunities to get involved in activities and try out new things. And that's just what Abigail Kolacz shows us in today's Standout Student.
I enjoy being part of a group. You may only be playing 2 or 3 or 4 bells, but then when you put it all together, you make this beautiful piece.
Senior Abigail Kolacz has been playing in the handbell choir since 7th grade, and it's just one of the many things she participates in at 4th Baptist Christian School.
Because it is a smaller school, we have a lot of opportunities to try everything. So I've been involved in music things, band, handbells, choir, ensemble, as well as sports. So I've played soccer and basketball and volleyball here, and been in a play that we had, and so it's just cool to be a part of everything and get to try new things and see where my interests are.
Science teacher Kristen Mulnix has taught Abby several science courses and had her in her homeroom for 6 years.
I feel like if I had to pick someone out of that class who's the most mature, I probably would have chosen her even as a 7th grader.
I really like science as far as school goes. I'm hoping to go into the medical field, physical therapy. So I enjoy biology and chemistry.
Next year, Abby plans on attending Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, where she will pursue a degree in athletic training.
When I think about Abby, I think about a person who is really, really thoughtful about her work and just has this desire to do her very best.
This humble 12th grader has an amazing toolbox of talent to tackle the life ahead of her and keep school and herself in perspective.
I just have to say thank you to God for the talents and abilities He's given me, because He's the only reason that I am what I am today.
In Plymouth, Neil Persley, CCX News.
Up next, why Wednesday was a great day to sit down with a police officer. But first, Maranatha and Heritage need 5 sets to decide their close match on the volleyball court. Jay Wilcox has those highlights up next.
I'm Jay Wilcox with sports. After a great start to the season, the Champlin Park girls soccer team has struggled some of late. The Rebels took on another team in the upper part of the Northwest Suburban standings when they hosted the Blaine Bengals. It's scoreless into the second half, but watch this run by Champlin Park's Alexa Grimm as she dribbles through a gauntlet of defenders and nails the shot for a 1-0 Rebels lead. The Bengals draw even when Deborah Lyer lofts a high shot over goalkeeper Malia Brady and in, tying the score up at 1. So we go to overtime. Jordan Pascarella hits the shot, but Brady makes the save here for Champlin Park. The best chance for the Rebels in OT is right here as Alex Lotz chases down the ball and gets a shot away, but it's handled by Ashley Shackelford. The end result of the game is a 1-1 tie. In boys soccer, Breck has allowed just 3 goals all season. The Mustangs aim for another win in the IMAC conference as they went to Plymouth to face Providence Academy. Breck's in white and they strike early. The first shot is blocked, but Walsh Kern buries the rebound less than a minute into the game. Then less than 3 minutes later, the pass is angled to Rand Brown. His shot sneaks under the keeper for a goal. Breck's up 2-0 as they dominate early, but the Lions manage to keep it that same score until halftime. Second half, and Eric Smith sends the pass ahead. Brown lets it go through to Spencer Chapman, who buries a rocket under the crossbar. That makes it 3-0 Breck. And the floodgates open from there. Graham Markert threads a pass ahead to Kern, and he scores on a breakaway for a 4-0 lead. The pass is headed by a defender, but right into the body of Nassim Kushner, who goes in alone to score. Breck scores 5 times in the second half. They win 7-0 to get a season sweep of Providence. In volleyball, Maple Grove played in the St. Michael-Albertville tournament over the weekend. They didn't face host STMA then, but the Crimson did welcome the Knights for a regular match on Tuesday night. With the Crimson down a set, nice dig by Skylar Gray, and then the set by Zoe Brown to Alexi Preed for the Maple Grove kill. A great rally here ends with a big block by Brown as the Crimson get to set point in the second. But the Knights surge back. Michaela Henderson with the kill, cutting the lead to 24-22. And then on set point for St. Michael, Kaylin Carell's tip is off the blockers and down for a 26-24 Knights win. Maple Grove starts set 3 strong. The block by Gray fires her team up right here. Then more good defense by Maple Grove. 8th grader Madeline Knutson gets the block for a 19-13 lead. But the Knights rally again. Sarah Tanchin drops it over the defense and in. And then on match point, Samantha Palmer's hit is off the blockers and down for a kill. St. Michael-Albertville gets the sweep. In the Minnesota Christian Athletic Association, New Life has the lead in the conference volleyball race. 2 teams from our area are right behind them, and they played a thriller on Tuesday. Maranatha Christian Academy on the road at Heritage Christian. Heritage is in blue. They set the ball in the middle for Jordan Allen, and she'll tip over the block for a point as the Eagles take a 21-20 lead. They go on to win the first set 25-20. Maranatha comes back strong in set 2. Abigail Harker to Julia Lovell for the strong back row attack. The Mustangs roll to a 25-16 win. In the third, it swings back to Heritage. Emma Stendahl with a nice set, and the block gets up late as Allen puts it away for the kill. The Eagles win 25-17 to go up 2-1. The fourth is back and forth. The kill here for Allen ties things up for Heritage at 21-all. But Maranatha pulls out a close one. Abby Lenari with the tip for a 25-24 lead. And MCA pulls out a 26-24 win to even the match at 2-2. And they win it in the fifth. Libero Kennedy Berquist, great dig, leads to a point as Maranatha pulls out a 5-set thriller over Heritage. And that is all for sports. Take it away, Shannon.
All right. In Local Vote 2018, we turn our attention to Brooklyn Center for the rest of the week. Let's begin with the Brooklyn Center School Board. There are 3 people running for 3 spots on the school board. 2 opted to record candidate statements. John Solomon is running for re-election, and Ben Roxon Summers will be a newcomer to the school board.
Hello, I am John Solomon, and I'm hoping to get your vote as a member of the Independent School District 286 Brooklyn Center School Board. I bring a dedication to academic improvement, quality education, safe school environments, diversity, equity, and inclusion for all students. My goal is to continue to build a dynamic school district that assists in creating outstanding citizens that will become our next leaders and contribute to the greatness of our future workforce. I hope to get your vote on November 6th. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ben Watson Summers, and I'm running for school board for District 286. I have a wife named Aubrey and a 2.5-year-old son named Wyatt, and another one on the way. The reason I decided to run for school board is I feel my accounting background could be useful dealing with funding issues. I believe in a strong community keeps our schools successful, and I am asking for your support in November for Brooklyn Center School Board.
Cheryl Johorek is also running for re-election to the Brooklyn Center School Board. Up next, a chance to sit down with a police officer. Why Wednesday was definitely the day to do it. We'll tell you why when we come back. And finally, Wednesday is National Coffee with a Cop Day, and police in Plymouth were there to join in the festivities. Officers from the Plymouth Police Department hung out at Caribou Coffee Wednesday morning to talk with community members. This is a chance for people to ask questions about policing or, like here, just tell the police how happy they are with their work. Cops say it's an important part of community policing.
Day in and day out, our officers are out in the community, meeting people, having conversations, having positive interactions like this. This is just an opportunity. If people haven't had one of those interactions with our officers in the community, they can come to one of these types of events and get to know us.
Fadden says knowing the people in their community also helps police do a better job. Departments all over the country used Wednesday as a day to connect with the people they serve, and we are glad you do. That's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you right back here again on Thursday, starting at 4 o'clock.
Put on your best for the Daddy-Daughter Princess Ball on Friday, November 9th at the Crystal Community Center. Find out more at ccxmedia.org under Cities and in the Community.